What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy Glam. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching a video. If you are already a part of the Mandy Glam family, thank you so much for coming back over and watching one of my videos. This is a fragrance video, just in case you're new to my channel. Mostly what I do is fragrance reviews. I do talk about other things like hair, makeup, skincare, stuff like that. Basically whatever I want to talk about on my channel, that's what I talk about. So yeah, today's video is going to be a perfume video where I discuss the fragrances that I wore this past week starting on Monday. This is something new that I'm doing. I feel like it's gonna help me like not only wear my fragrances, but just get more familiar, I guess re-familiar with my fragrances and some new fragrances that I've added to my collection that I've been wanting to wear and try out and stuff like that. I pick a random fragrance and just wear it for the day and smell it all day and collect my thoughts on it and feelings and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a weekly fragrance video. Okay, so getting started with Monday, I pulled out this fragrance, and this is totally a YouTube made me buy it fragrance. I want to say Jeremy Fragrance is the one that talked about this fragrance so much here on YouTube, and I had to get it and had to try it out. This is Hugo Boss the Scented Private Accord. Okay, I really do like the bottle. As you can see, I have sprayed it a lot. I don't know if I've really sprayed this fragrance a lot, or it's just like when I spray it, like a lot comes out. I don't know, but it has a nice little dent in it that I see that I've kind of put in it. But yeah, the notes that stick out the most for me in this fragrance is the cocoa or cacao, which is like a chocolate powder, and mandarin orange. I believe there's also vanilla in the base in this fragrance. And so at initial spray, when I first sprayed on my skin, I do get the orange and the chocolate, and as it dries down, the vanilla starts to kick in and kind of gives it a creamy type vibe, very sweet, very creamy. Now when I first got this fragrance, it did something weird on my skin initially, which was kind of odd for me because honestly, fragrances don't really change on my skin, if that makes sense. Like whatever the fragrance or however the fragrance is supposed to perform, that's exactly what it does. But this fragrance kind of came off a little bit like metallic-y almost. It was weird. Another thing that this fragrance does for me on my skin, I feel like the mandarin or the orange note kind of starts to fade after like a 3 or 4 hour wear, and then I just get the chocolate and the vanilla, in which I have no problem with. Chocolate is one of my favorite like desserts, and I love fragrances that have vanilla in it, and it kind of reminded me of like hot chocolate almost. It's kind of weird. Now even though the orange note like kind of faded, it was still faintly there for me, but it did not last the whole day like the other two notes, the chocolate and vanilla. But I still do enjoy this fragrance. Honestly, it's not one that I gravitate to the most, which was kind of like disappointing to me a little bit. I am gonna keep it in my collection for a little bit longer, just to see, you know, how it does or whatever, if I'm gonna keep it. I don't want to get rid of it just right now. I think this fragrance is probably gonna be a fragrance that I'm gonna grab mostly in the cooler months. I am gonna try it a few times and see how well it performs. I think I bought this fragrance over the summertime, and maybe that's why it did that funny little metallic-y situation on my skin. I don't know, but we will see how, you know, it does in the summertime. I don't think I'm gonna be grabbing it like that in the summertime because it comes off more to me as a wintertime fragrance. I don't know if y'all do this, but I do separate my fragrances according to the seasons. I know, I feel like I'm kind of getting out of that almost, but yeah, I do that weird thing. So yeah, this is Hugo Boss, the Scented Private Accord. I do not grab this fragrance all the time for the main reason that it was very expensive and I don't want to run through it like that, and also it is a limited edition fragrance. I'm not sure if they have it on their website right now. I know when they first launched it is when I got it, and then I want to say like maybe a couple of months after that, I want to say they did like a relaunch. So this is Wonder Woman 84. Again, it is by the House of Sillage. And this is my very first House of Sillage fragrance. And to be honest with you guys, I've done a whole video on this fragrance. I know you guys, the ones that have been loyal subscribers and watch my videos all the time, you've heard me talk about this fragrance on more than one occasion. And I just felt like grabbing it and wearing it this week because honestly, I think I've worn it maybe one other time and that was it. But to be honest with you guys, if it wasn't a Wonder Woman fragrance, I wouldn't have got the fragrance, just to be honest with you. I feel like if you're someone that is just now starting out in your fragrance journey, House of Sillage is a great niche brand company. And when I say niche, I mean all they do is fragrances. They also do like cosmetics. I think the only cosmetic they do is lipstick, but they do fragrances. So I would highly recommend, if you're considering getting a House of Sillage fragrance, to get a discovery kit. Anytime you're dealing with expensive fragrances, if the company offers a discovery set, I would highly recommend you get it. And in the discovery set, you'll get multiple fragrances for you to wear, like nice size decants for you to try out and wear before you invest the money in it. But again, I invested the money in this because I am a huge Wonder Woman fan, and I just felt like if I didn't get it, when would I have had the opportunity to get it again? And then they came out with a second relaunch, and I was like, girl, for real. Let's get into the fragrance, okay? Let me see if I can remember the notes for this fragrance. I know that I want to say there's almond in this fragrance. I want to say there's probably vanilla in this fragrance. I believe there's raspberry in this fragrance as well, like in the top note. And there's something spicy in this fragrance as well. Let me just get the notes so I can be accurate with you guys. In the top note, you get bergamot, raspberry, davana, pink pepper. In the middle, you get orris, almond, something called Toulouse balsam. I hope I'm saying that right. In the base, you get vanilla, absolute, and musk, okay? There is something in this fragrance that gives it a little bit of a spicy vibe to it, and it may be the pink pepper, but I feel like there's something else in the fragrance that's causing it to be a little bit spicy. I'm just gonna go with the pink pepper. To be honest with you guys, I don't get any of the raspberry. If I do, it's right in the initial spray when I spray the fragrance. But what stands out most to me is the almond and the musk and that pink pepper. And what I found kind of a little strange too, as I wore it throughout the day, sometimes I felt like I would get like a slight medicinal type smell. Nothing very prominent, but I did get whiffs of that, like a medicinal fragrance every now and again. But for the most part, what I got in this fragrance is a creamy almond, spicy, musky fragrance, okay? With little hints of something sweet, but not a lot of sweetness. But I do enjoy this fragrance. I'm so happy that I do enjoy it. It was a total blind buy for me. I would have been sick to my stomach if I had not liked this fragrance and spent what I spent on it, because that's awful. Like, you want to enjoy, if you're gonna spend money, like big money on a fragrance, please make sure it's something, and not just because it's hyped up, okay? That's crazy, makes absolutely no sense to me, but I do like this fragrance. And again, this is Wonder Woman 1984 or Wonder Woman 84 by House of Siage. Me and my friend Tanisha, we went to the mall. Was it this past Saturday? I can't remember if it was this past Saturday. Anyway, we went and we smelled fragrances, and I got a sample of this fragrance from the Tom Ford counter. Okay, so this is a sample of Tom Ford's Soleil Neige. I know I'm not saying it right, so I'm gonna put it down here so you guys will know what the fragrance that I'm talking about, but I believe it's pronounced Soleil Neige by Tom Ford. I don't know. I feel like I'm butchering the name of the fragrance. But anyway, I will put a picture up as well so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now this fragrance, I had never smelled this fragrance before, and I do consider myself to be a huge Tom Ford fan. Like, I love his fashions, everything about Tom Ford, and I love his fragrances, okay? So the sales associate recommended this fragrance to us, and when I smelled it, I loved it instantly. You guys, the notes in the fragrance, it includes bergamot, carrot seed, orange blossom in the middle, also white florals in the middle, jasmine, rose, and Turkish rose are in the middle. In the base, you get benzoin, vanilla, and labdamen, okay? Hope I'm saying that right too. What was very odd about this fragrance for me, I'm gonna spray it a little bit, but this fragrance like changed on me like 3 times during the day, okay? It went from, in the initial spray, I get something very, very beautiful, very feminine. The white floral is very prominent in the initial like smell for me. I don't get a lot of orange blossom. And with this having 2 types of rose in it, it's not the first thing that I get. This is a very complicated fragrance for me. I don't know why. It's complicated for me in a good way. It's very strange for me, which is, I like that. I like the weirdness of this fragrance, because it does several different things for me. I definitely get the white floral. The white floral is very prominent in this fragrance. I don't get any orange blossom. Jasmine is very prominent. I think because it has the benzoin in it and the labdamen. I know I'm not saying that right. Labdanum, okay? Which I don't really know what labdanum smells like. It looks like a white floral, like some type of floral. I don't know, but this fragrance, and this fragrance also comes off with a little metallic type vibe, which because of that, it reminds me a lot of Tom Ford's Metallique. Comes off a little bit on the mature side for me. I don't know, this fragrance, I cannot put this fragrance in a box. I cannot categorize this fragrance. I just know that it changed so much on my skin, from initial spray to the dry down to the longevity. I did also, when I first got this sample, I did spray some on before I went to sleep, and that was like a week ago yesterday. And when I tell you guys, I can still smell this fragrance on my pillow. Crazy. Like, if you spray this on your clothes, it's definitely gonna last on your clothes. The longevity on this fragrance is amazing, you guys, amazing. I did read some reviews on Fragrantica, and supposedly this fragrance is supposed to remind you of snow. I don't know, I didn't get it, but then again, I've never been around snow like that, but I don't know. I think also it's supposed to be a wintertime fragrance. Yes, I would say definitely a wintertime fragrance, but I also feel like this fragrance is gonna be one of those type of fragrances you can wear all year round, because it's good. Like, it's really good. It's very unique. It's not gonna be one of those fragrances. For me, I don't think it's gonna be a fragrance where I can just really describe it to you guys. Carrot seed. I don't even know what carrot seed smell like, so I really can't say if it's coming through on the fragrance. Bergamot, yes, the bergamot I think is what's giving me that mature note. The benzoin and the vanilla, the labdanum. I don't know. This fragrance is all over the place for me, but in a very good way, okay? So this next fragrance, y'all know it's new to my perfume collection. This is by Jean Paul Gaultier, and this is Labelle. Now, you guys have heard people talk about this fragrance over and over and over again, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. From my understanding and according to Fragrantica, there's only a few notes in this fragrance, and it is pear, vetiver, and vanilla, I think. Yeah, yep, I was right. Pear, vetiver, and vanilla. I thoroughly enjoy this fragrance, okay? This can easily become one of my favorite fragrances by Jean Paul Gaultier. I do have the original Scandal, and I've smelled a few other of his fragrances, and when it comes to his fragrances, I feel like he keeps that same energy. Like, he makes the fragrances for ladies are just very feminine, they're very sexy, they're very likable, they're very wearable. You don't really find too many people that don't like at least one of his fragrances. If you ever want to just feel sexy and feminine, I recommend go for a Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance, even if it's the Scandal line or the Classique line, which I think kind of falls, this fragrance falls under that Classique line or Classic line because of the shape of the bottle. But I do enjoy this fragrance a lot, okay? It has very great wear, very great longevity, nice projection. Now, at initial spray, I don't really, I get the pear, I get the fruity note in the fragrance. And this was funny, this turns into something kind of jammy on me, like a jam, like something you would put on toast. Very sweet, just kind of like thick almost. That's what it does to me after like a 3 to 4 or 5 hour wear. Y'all know I'm a big lover of vetiver. I just love how vetiver is, you know, vetiver comes off very earthy, like dirt, fresh dirt from the ground. In this fragrance, it doesn't do that. There's nothing dirty about this fragrance or earthy vibe or anything like that. I know a lot of you guys pay attention to the notes in fragrances, and you kind of, if you're into fragrances, you're like, ooh, I don't like patchouli. You know, you kind of stay away from that, or you don't like vetiver and you stay away from that. Don't let the vetiver note in this fragrance scare you off, because it is very feminine. It's not earthy or dirty or anything like that. And the vanilla, it just makes it a very sweet, yummy, fruity fragrance, okay? That's how I would best describe this fragrance. Is it worth the hype? Totally. And dare I say, I like it more than the original Scandal. The original Scandal is very, which was another hyped up fragrance on YouTube. But for me, it comes off very, the honey in it is so strong and prominent. It kind of gets on my nerves after a while, I have to say that. I have to put it out there. But yeah, I only have 2 Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances, and it's the Labelle, this one, and as y'all can see, the Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier. So I still enjoy this fragrance, especially now in the cooler months, but like I said, that honey, child, it just does a number on me after about 4 or 5 hours. This would make a really nice Valentine's Day fragrance to wear when you go out with your bae. I just thoroughly enjoy this fragrance. La Belle by Lancôme, which I think is still one of the most beautiful fragrances ever. Very classy, very feminine, very bossy. This fragrance is just very beautiful. Now, I have to say, now that I've actually worn it out and worn it on my skin and smelled it all day, I have to admit this fragrance has a very mature vibe to it, to me. Not that I don't enjoy it. I have a bunch of mature fragrances, okay? But that was very surprising to me to like get that vibe. And when I say mature, I don't necessarily mean like older woman, old lady, or anything like that. Just a mature woman, you know, a grown ass woman. I categorize this fragrance, like I would put this fragrance right up there with Coco Mademoiselle. You know, Coco Mademoiselle can have a very fun vibe to it, but it also has a very mature smell to it for me personally. Like this fragrance along with Coco Mademoiselle, I would only wear for like special occasions. Okay, just in case you're not familiar with the notes in this fragrance and you've never heard of this fragrance before, let me just give you a few notes. Okay, in the top you get blackcurrant, you get pear, in the middle you get iris, jasmine, orange blossom. In the base you get praline, vanilla, patchouli, and tonka bean. Okay, I do love the patchouli with the praline with the vanilla. I don't get any pear in this fragrance at all. I do get blackcurrant, and for some reason I noticed that I'm gravitating more to fragrances with blackcurrant in them. So I guess I'm a lover of blackcurrant. But yeah, I would definitely put this fragrance up with like fragrances like Coco Mademoiselle. What else would I compare it to? Fragrances like C by Giorgio Armani. C by Giorgio Armani has blackcurrant in it, and I smell the same note in both. I guess that's why I would, you know, put it in the same category. It's a very thick, loud fragrance. There's no way, even if you did 1 or 2 sprays, this fragrance is gonna carry. It's just, everybody's gonna smell it, so just be prepared for that. So what else would I categorize this fragrance with? Probably just, yeah, those 2. If I wanted to be bold and daring, I would wear this on a date night in the summertime, but a date night, like at night. I wouldn't wear it in the daytime. It gets way too hot in Houston for that mess, but I would definitely wear this on a date night. I think this would make a very pretty Valentine's Day fragrance for, you know, date night. It's very beautiful, very classy. And I think for a while it was ranked like one of the top 3 fragrances in the world. Every time I Googled top fragrances, this came up at least in top 5. And I think it's still a beautiful, classic fragrance as well. Yes, comment down below if you have any of the fragrances I mentioned in this video. Let me know how you like them. Definitely comment if you have the Tom Ford fragrance, because that one is just so strange to me. I mean, it just did this all day. Like, it just went back and forth, and it's beautiful, but it's very odd in the same like note, in the same turn. Y'all know what I'm saying. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate you guys showing me so much love, and all the love that y'all gave me in my last video, which was very personal. If you haven't checked it out, when you click out of this video, go and click on my last video that I posted. Thank you guys so much for the kind words and the love. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah.